I'm Herb. Put on my phone. I'll keep my phone because we're going to do something different today. And fix the video here because I'm professional. I do all that on camera. No, doesn't matter. It's live. So I use that because we're going to do planks today. I was watching a video this morning that popped up on my YouTube feed, and it was titled "The Problem with Fitness Yoga," and it was from the YouTube channel Kaya Minlin. And in short, the video was stating that there's a difference between yoga that you see in the fitness centers and yoga that yogis practice, the traditional understanding of yoga. So what the video was stating is that yoga has more depth to it than what the fitness industry connects to the term yoga. Now, I 100% agree with the video, and I've been saying this for the last 20 years because that's how I was taught to teach yoga, that there's more to it than the poses. And basically, the poses are not yoga. It's part of yoga, the hatha part, but it's not yoga. In other words, if you're doing a pose, for example, and if your mind and body is not connecting as one, then you're not doing yoga. You're just doing forward bend, for example, or the runner's lunge, and so on and so forth. Now, I would say that yoga is the mind and body connecting. That's what I've stripped down to the definition of yoga. And I base this off of Satchidananda Ashram's picture. Satchidananda had this image. This is the image he had. One truth, many paths. And what I've done over the years have stripped my understanding of yoga and how I teach yoga to one truth, many paths, but when the mind and body connects as one. So what I try to do is make it, I was going to say attainable, I guess the word is attainable, to an American population. Make it Americanized. So I don't personally use the so-called proper words when I do a yoga pose. And I do all that on purpose because I don't want a code switch. And all that comes from being a Muslim and having this cultural simulation pushed on you as a Muslim, being told to say Muslim and not Muslim. And I apply that same concept to yoga because I don't want it to seem foreign. I want it to seem attainable. So you don't have to say these proper words. You don't have to connect it to the Indian culture. You don't have to connect it to Hinduism. You can experience yoga through Christianity, through Islam, through Buddhism, Judaism, or whatever. That's what one truth, many paths means. You can experience yoga when you're connected to God, when you're praying and you connect to the oneness of Christ, or you can experience yoga when you pray the Friday service prayer at the mosque. I've experienced that. And it's just you and God, and you're connected as one. And I've experienced that through Christianity too. And there's one truth, many paths. And that's what I've come to understand yoga as. Now, would that definition agree with the video I watched this morning? Probably not. But that is yoga, when the mind and body connects. That's how I understand it. And I understand yoga as if a Christian was praying and connecting his or her mind and body as one through Christianity or through Islam and so on and so forth. And I just do that so it doesn't seem foreign. That's all. That's the only reason I do it. And I want to reach an American population where it's not like, hey, this stuff is awesome because it feels foreign. And sometimes when we connect foreignness, if that's a word, I don't even know if that's a word, to our belief system, we feel like we're connecting to something higher, unattainable because it's foreign. But we're just connecting to the idea of something foreign. So make yoga you. Be true, be you. So if you're a Christian, experience yoga. As a Christian, if you're in deep prayer, let's say you're Pentecostal, you're speaking in tongues, you're doing yoga. Sorry. If you're a Muslim and you're at the mosque and you're doing the prayer and you're just flowing with the prayer, you're doing yoga. Sorry. And that is what yoga is to me. And then to the lady in the video, Kaya Minlin, her path is her path. And it's beautiful too. I watched that video of hers and one that was, what is a yogi? That's the one that popped up on the side. What is a yogi? And then I went to her YouTube channel and saw that video of the problem of fitness yoga. And then I went to her website and she's a yogi. She's a yogin. Yogian? See, that's why I don't say the proper words, because I can't say them. No. And she's knowledgeable. I can tell. But she's knowledgeable in her path. And I will say this, and I got to get going. Running out of time. And I will say this is that fitness yoga, the person that's doing fitness yoga is their path. It's their path, and there's nothing wrong with that. So if they're building strength and coordination and balance and feeling great through fitness yoga, that's awesome too. It's awesome too. It really is. So let's go ahead and begin. I talked longer than I should have. We're going to do the standing forward bend. I'm sorry, standing forward bend. I was thinking about standing forward bend. That's why I said it. We're going to do the mountain pose, centering ourselves, settling, becoming like a mountain, having the mindset of a mountain is oneness. Just like a mountain is one with the earth, we are too. We're actually part of the stars too, supposedly. Then we're going to move into two side salutations with variations in them. And then we'll end with the mountain pose, focusing solely on our breathing, focus 100% on our breathing, and then realizing that we're not our thoughts. And then, boom, we're the thing that's watching our thoughts. So let's go ahead and begin. Should have talked as long as I did. If anybody watched this, they probably clicked out 5 minutes ago. Feet are shoulder width apart, toes go up. Spread the toes as wide as you can, and each toe touches the floor one at a time. My mat feels crooked. Knees are bent, hips are tilted, arms are relaxed, shoulders are relaxed, neck is relaxed. No tension anywhere in the body. So what you're doing is straightening up, can't speak yet, straightening up, and then lining the bones up of the skeleton, where the skeleton is just standing by itself. So if you were just your skeleton, you're finding that spot where it's just standing by itself. Now you're going to focus on the breathing. 100% focus on the breathing. And you do that by watching the belly go in and out as you inhale, exhale, or bring your focus to the tip of the nose and watch the air go in and out. And when you're focused on the breathing, it heightens your awareness and lets you know what's going on in the body. And that allows the yoga routine to become a moving meditation. And the focus on the breathing is what allows the mind and body to connect as one. Palms together, thumbs to the heart center, push the arms out, up and back. Inhale. This is the first stretch. Do it nice and easy. Exhale as you hinge forward from the lower back. You're going to go right into the standing forward bend. Palms to the calves, elbows into the sides of the legs. And you are pulling yourself into this pose. So the forehead's going to the knees, but you're only going to the spot right before you feel like, man, I shouldn't go any further. Find that spot, settle in the pose, and accept where you are. Acceptance allows openness. So although you're closed up, you're still open because you're accepting. And that acceptance and that openness is what you take off the yoga mat and you apply it in the so-called real world where you feel opened and you're accepting. And in this pose, why it's important is it allows you to become aware of subtleness. Because when you inhale, the belly swells with air and it pushes you out of the pose slightly. When you exhale, you go back into the pose. You let that happen, and you become aware of that subtle movement. So when you go off the yoga mat in the so-called real world, you are aware of the subtle things happening around you. That is what we're learning on the yoga mat, to become aware, to be open, to be accepting, let go of judgment, let go of control, just let go. The palms to the sides of the feet, left leg is back into a low lunge. With the low lunge, top of the foot to the floor in the back. Back knees to the floor, hips are square, pushing forward diagonally. The back is straight. If the back is straight, you're reaching out, you're elongating. If it's arching, you're doing a scoop. Scoop is a Pilates term, but I always use it. Scoop. Hip bones are pushing forward diagonally. Back is arching, head is going up. And then just settle in the pose. And make sure the front knee is not over the toes. If it is, lengthen up some, and then just do the best you can. In this pose, you're opening up, and you're feeling open. That means if the body is down some, and you feel like, man, I'm not opening, that's not what we're doing. Let go of that. That's judgment. That's not what we're doing. You're feeling open. The body does not dictate whether you feel opened or not. That's what we're learning. We're learning that on the yoga mat. That's a mindset that you take off the yoga mat and you feel opened, no matter of the situations around you. No matter if you're at a job that you feel enclosed in. We're learning to be open. So when you're in that job, you are open. And that will allow you to have new thinking. You're open to new ideas, which allows you to make that job better, possibly, or allows you to leave the job, not enclosed, man, not imprisoned. And now you're going to go to high lunge. Settle in the high lunge just for a second or so. So curl the toes under in the back, knee goes off the floor. And then downward dog. With the downward dog, you are pushing into this pose. But you're only pushing to the spot right before you feel like, man, I shouldn't go any further. Find that spot, settle there, and focus on the breathing. I have to pull up my stopwatch on my old phone. Didn't know the phone was old until my daughter was like, hey, Daddy, why don't you get a new phone? Stopwatch. And now we're going to go into the plank. We're just going to do a minute. Just do the best you can. So with the plank, fingers are wide as you can get them. Middle fingers are pointing straight out. Now, If you need to modify this, you're going to go down to the knees. And if that's too much on the lower back, go to hands and knees. Or you go for a little bit, then you're like, you know what? I need to go down. And then you go down. You're listening to your body. You're listening to yourself. And keep the abs engaged. So you're not sucking the abs in. The belly button's just going into the spine. And you're still breathing. 100% focus on the breathing. If your arms are starting to shake, you're like, man, I can feel this in my arms. It's all right. You're aware of it. You're not the shaking. Just focus on the breathing. Abs are engaged. Now we're going to go to downward dog again. Pushing into it. Really push into it. And then slide into the upward dog. With the upward dog, tops of the feet are to the floor. Of course, the palms are to the floor. And you're opening up. Now, if that's too much, you go to hands and knees and do the cow. And that's arching the back, bringing the head up, or the small cobra, and you pull the chest off the floor. Palms are to the floor, but you're not using the palms. You're pulling yourself up. You're using the back muscles. The back muscles are pull muscles. So you're pulling, not pushing. Can't push with the back muscles. You got to pull. And just feel open. If it's too much, you just bring yourself out of it. Always listen to the body. And then back to downward dog. And that's another thing that we're learning on the yoga mat is listening to the body. Essentially, what that leads into is you learning to listen to yourself. Becoming your own guru. So when you're off the yoga mat in the so-called real world, you're not just following. Someone tells you something, you don't just follow it. You learn to listen to yourself. You talk it over with yourself. And if you believe in God, you talk it over with God. And then you make the decision. Now, left foot goes up between the hands into a low lunge. So that means the back foot, top of the foot to the floor, knees to the floor, palms are to the floor, maybe to your fingertips. Maybe you're up like this. Wherever you are, you're going to accept it. That's what we're essentially learning, acceptance. And make sure the front knee is not over the toes. And if it is, lengthen up some, and then just accept where you are and feel opened. Accept where you are. Always accept, accept, accept. Anytime I say accept, I think of capital A. That's what pops in my head. That's what I see, a capital A, because it's an energy almost. Not really an energy, but there is a tapping into acceptance. When I'm accepting and somebody else is accepting, we're sharing the same acceptance. Now you're going to go to high lunge. So curl the toes under the back, knee goes up. And then standing forward bend, pull yourself in and down. Remember, go to the spot right before you feel like, man, I shouldn't go any further. Find that spot, settle there, and then focus on the breathing. 100% focus on the breathing. That allows you to be aware of what's happening in the body. Makes you aware of maybe a so-called issue you have in the lower back, or in your shoulders, or in your hamstrings. But you are not the so-called issues. You're just aware of them. And that's a mindset that we're learning. So when you're off the yoga mat, you are not your so-called problems. You're aware of them, therefore you handle them, you take care of them, you fix them, or do what you have to do, but you are not them. Palms together, reach out, up and back, inhale. Then turn the palms out, push the air down and out, exhale. Again, inhale, last salutation, exhale, hinge forward from the lower back. Palms go to the calves, elbows into the sides of the legs. Pull yourself in and down and focus on the breathing. 100% focus on the breathing. That heightens your awareness and lets you know what's going on in the body. Go ahead and release the tension in the lower back. Many times we hold the tension there. Just release it. Go where you have to go. So if you're up like this, and that's all you can do, don't judge it. Judgment is a barrier. It will prevent the mind and body from becoming one. Even if you're going all the way down, which I teach yoga, and I can't go all the way down. Actually, I can't go. No, I can't go all the way down. But if I could, and I was doing it perfectly, and I'm thinking, man, I'm doing this perfectly. That's judgment too. That's not what we're doing. You gotta let that go as well. It's great, it's awesome, but that's not what we're doing. The palms to the sides of the feet, left leg is back into a low lunge. With the low lunge, you're opening up, you're feeling open. Elongating the back if it's straight, arching the back if it's arching. Yeah, doesn't make sense. It didn't make sense. All right, yay. That's part of yoga too. That's one thing I learned about these these live videos is that it's taught me a lot. It really has. It's okay, just like if I was in a real class, if I was in a class on site, like if I had people here, I mess up all the time. And it's all right. On video, you feel like, man, I can do it perfectly. I have those videos. Those are online. A lot of edits. Somebody took all that stuff out for me. Then high lunge. Then downward dog, pushing into it. I'm learning too. See, we're doing yoga together. And I'm just telling you what poses to go into. You don't want to listen to me. That's not the type of yoga I teach. We're doing it together. And essentially what I'm teaching is you to become your own guru. Listen to yourself. That's the important part. 2019, that's what you want to learn, how to listen to yourself. Slide into the upward dog. Or modify it how you have to. Guru is your guru. Now, if you listen to yourself and you thought, hey, I need a guru, I need to follow somebody, that's fine too. I'm not taking that away. But most likely in the United States of America, you want to learn to listen to yourself. And that's what we're learning on the yoga mat. Downward dog is to learn to listen to yourself. Trust yourself. Have confidence in your decisions. Don't just listen and just follow. And then decide what you need to do, what's best for you. If you have a family, what's best for you and your family. And then left foot is up between the hands into a low lunge. And we're learning all that on the yoga mat. You're learning to listen to yourself. So when you're in a pose and your body's like, man, you can't do it. I can't do it. Listen to your body. And essentially, that's what you're learning. You're learning to listen. When you're off the yoga mat, you're listening to yourself. You're getting all that on the yoga mat. Collection of positive thinking. Getting rid of all the negative thinking. Then what happens, then high lunge, then standing forward bend, push yourself in and down. And what happens is that you have a collection of all these positive thoughts, which creates a positive mindset. Then when you're off the yoga mat, you're looking through the lens of this positive mindset. It allows you to see the world in a positive way, differently than what you were seeing it before. You can create your own perception of the world and view things differently. And then palms together, reach out, up and back. Then exhale, turn palms out, push your down and out. And now, we're going to go to mountain pose. Mountain pose, feet are shoulder width apart, toes go up. Spread the toes as wide as you can. Each toe touches the floor. One at a time, knees are bent, hips are tilted. Arms are relaxed. No tension in the arms or the shoulders or the neck. And again, you're finding that spot where the skeleton is just standing. Find a spot. Focus on the breathing. Now, we're going to do the tree pose. And you're going to modify this how you have to. You're going to accept wherever you are. So if you need to go to a wall, hold on to a wall. You need to bring the toe down and up, down and up. Perfectly fine. It doesn't matter. Because what's happening is that you're learning where you are. Not having some delusion like, hey, I can do the tree pose perfectly. Because that's a mindset that we don't want in the so-called real world. And we learn to accept ourselves in a simple pose like the tree pose. And where we are, that's what we do off the yoga mat. We're in the world and like, this is what I'm capable of doing at this moment. And it's all right. You're learning that in a simple pose like the tree pose. So left foot is up. So the heel of the foot, the bottom of the foot goes into the side of the right leg. Knees back, toes are still as wide as you can get them. And then what you're going to have to do, possibly, maybe, is bend the knee, tilt the hips, find a spot where the skeleton is just standing. And then palms together, thumbs to the heart center. And this is just a symbolic hand gesture. And then you're going to push the arms up. Inhale. And then you can't see my hands when they go up because I have a terrible camera. I'm just keeping this position. And then just focus on the breathing. 100% focus on the breathing. Now, we're not going to stay here long, but if you're wobbling back and forth, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. For real, you're learning where you are. And if you're wobbling, hey, I'm wobbling. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Can I say it doesn't matter again? Hey, I just did. And then palms come down. And shake it out. Very simple pose, but you're learning where you are. And that's the importance about yoga. One thing about yoga is it's a process-oriented mind and body type of exercise, if you want to call it an exercise, where the coordination, the balance, all that happens. All that happens. You're not focused on that. That's goal-oriented. Like a traditional exercise, when you lift weights, like, hey, I'm doing this because I need to get stronger. You know, that's fine. But that's not what we're doing in a mind-body exercise. So other side, so right foot is up. So the bottom of the foot goes inside. Whoa, see, I almost fell. Whoa, almost fell again. So the bottom of the foot goes inside of the left leg. Right knee is back. Push it back. Square up the shoulders. And then do the best you can. So again, toes go up. Spread the toes as wide as you can. Bend the knee if you have to. Whoa. See, I keep on almost falling. Hips are square. Palms together. Thumbs to the heart center. That's because I'm talking and trying to watch the video. And arms go up. And then just focus on the breathing. Now for me, I'm thinking, hey, I can push my knee back some more. So I push it back some more. Learning to listen to my body. But I also have a problem. See, I just judge myself. I have an issue in my hip. Had it for 2 years now. Trying to get rid of it. I have a crushed nerve in my spine. Had an MRI done. Nobody wants to know all that. And it shoots down my leg. So when I push it back, I can feel it. But see, I'm not my so-called problem. So technically, if I was really doing yoga instead of instructing, I would be focusing on my breathing, aware of that issue. Yeah, I keep on falling. Probably stayed in this long enough. Lost track of time. Shake it out. Shake it out. And then you're going to go to mountain pose. And we're going to end in mountain pose. So feet are shoulder width apart. Toes go up. Spread the toes as wide as you can. Each toe touches the floor one at a time. Knees are bent, hips are tilted, arms are relaxed. No tension in the arms or the shoulders. Then you're just focused on the breathing. We're just going to stay here a little bit longer, so just watch yourself breathe and think of nothing else but the breathing. And what happens is you're just going to watch it. You're going to let go of control. You're already breathing automatically. So just watch it. you'll start controlling the breathing, most likely, maybe. And when you realize, hey, I'm controlling my breathing, just let go and watch it. And what will happen is you'll start to think about other things, most likely. And when you realize, hey, I've been thinking about something else and not my breathing, don't judge it. Just bring your focus back to watching your breathing. Then it'll happen again, and then just bring your focus back to watching your breathing. And it'll happen again and again, and it's a process. And then what happens is that you realize you are not your thoughts, but the thing that's watching your thoughts. Then when that happens, you realize you are in control of your thoughts, meaning you can get rid of negative thoughts, don't focus on them, and replace your mindset with positive thinking, creating a collection of positive thoughts, having a mindset of positivity. So when you're off the yoga mat, you look through that mindset of positivity, and that's how you'll see the world. You'll see opportunities. You'll see things that you used to see as negative as, hey, that's the way it is. And then you handle it, you avoid it, get rid of it, however you have to handle it. Avoidance is not bad. So people say, hey, don't avoid it, handle it. No. Sometimes you have to just let what is. But what is. We're just going to stay here a little bit longer, so just watch yourself breathe. Put your palms together. That's it. So that's 100, number 159 YouTube Live yoga routine. So I will see you tomorrow at 5:30 a.m. Arizona time, Mountain Standard Time. So namaste, peace and love.